Hey guys, it's Matt Bartram here from Warrior Fitness and Health, and in this short vlog I want to cover the missing part of the puzzle in your exercise regime. Right, so what we talk about when we're exercising all the time is how many sessions are we doing, how intense is the session going to be, how far am I going, how heavy am I lifting, how long can I do all this for. What we rarely talk about is rest periods. What we often neglect is rest periods and downtime to recover. So I'm going to cover the three main different types of rest periods. So we're going to talk about in between sets and exercise durations within a session. So we're going to talk about your rest periods that you may have in any one session. We're going to talk about the rest periods between individual sessions. And then we're going to talk about rest periods at the end of a training block. So, rest period number one. And I'm going to apply this to sets at the gym, various timed or set activities in boot camps or group exercise or HIIT sets. Them times where you're working for a period of time, then you have a rest, working for a period of time, then have a rest, and working for a period of time, then have a rest. I'm not talking about long runs. I'm talking about start, stop, interval style training where you're doing something for a little while, then you have a rest, and then you do something for a little while. So these kind of sessions. So your rest periods are dictated by your goal. So if your goal is power and strength, where you are doing very few repetitions, but you are lifting really heavy, or you're exerting yourself to 90 to 100% of your maximum capacity, and you may only be doing this between 1 and 4 reps, or think world's strongest man, think powerlifting, think maximum exertion over a short period of time. Your rest periods here are going to be anywhere from maybe 3 to 6 minutes, because these activities totally fatigue the nervous system. The nervous system takes a long time to recover. So the nervous system, see the nervous system as the wiring in the house. It takes a complete battering during an all-out effort, and it needs a good 4-6 minutes to recover. It's never going to fully recover, but that's as good as it gets, so the muscles and tendons and ligaments aren't cooling down. So that's power and strength rest periods. So the next kind of training is aesthetic, where you're trying to get your body looking good. We're talking hypertrophy, we're talking lean muscle gain, we're talking great arms, abs and legs. We're training to look good. So this is called hypertrophy training. Rest periods here, they should be anywhere around about the 1.5-2 minute mark. With this style of training, you're going to get a little bit of fatigue on the actual muscle fibers. We're going to get some lactate and metabolites actually built up within the muscle. We'll also need to allow time for the nervous system and this lactate to come out of the muscle to enable us to be able to perform the next set to the best of our capacity. So rest periods here should be about 1.5 to 2 minutes. The third style of training is your stamina, your endurance, where you're not working highly intense, but you're going for long durations of time. Your work periods may be for 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then you're moving on to something else. Rest periods here should be relatively short, because it's all about keeping the heart rate up. It's about keeping the lung capacity open. It's about keeping capillary density open for maximum oxygen supply via the blood cells. So rest periods here need to be super short, 20, 30 seconds tops. So quick summary for in-session rest periods. If you're power-based, if you're strength-based, you need 3 to 6 minutes rest, because you're repairing the nervous system. If you're building lean muscle mass and you want to look good naked and you're working on hypertrophy, rest periods 1.5 to 2 minutes. If you're stamina and endurance based, you need to keep all the blood vessels open, and you're going to keep rest periods to a minimal, actually 20, 30 seconds. Right. The next rest period I want to talk about is in between sessions. So some people might train 3 times a week, some people might train 5, some people might train 6. I'm going to be general here because it depends. Your rest days per week depend on your age, your gender, the training that you're doing, whether you're off season, whether you're in competition, your sleep levels, your hormonal profile, your health reasons, your any health problems that you've got, your stress levels, your working hours, your commuting, your hydration. There's so much that comes into the mix here with how many days should I train, how many days should I add off, and you really need to speak to a good coach for this. But as a simple rule, you should be having anywhere between 2 and 4 days off per week. That's ensuring that your training frequency intensity is exactly where it should be. So say somebody of my age, 47, I'm not breaking any records at the minute, but I've got a load of good volume, I've got a load of good frequency on the go. I'm training 5 days of the week and I'm having 2 full days for recovery. And in that recovery, you need to be making sure nutrition is on point, hydration, sleep, rest, recovery, time in nature, reading, just giving that body a right good rest for the next 3, 4, 5 days that come in. So that is in between session recoveries or rest. The last one is one that never gets spoke about, and it's end of block recovery or end of periodization recovery. What I'm talking about here is majority of good coaches will program your training to blocks of maybe 12 or 16 weeks, or sometimes 8, depending on what you're training for and your given goals. At the end of every 8, 12 or 16 week block, you should have 1 complete week off. Now, some people need to do this in one of 2 ways. They're going to have a whole week off where they do 0 training. They do absolutely no structured exercise in any way, shape or form. They're staying active. They're doing the 10,000 steps. They might be doing some stretching, rolling, massaging, that sort of stuff. But they're not doing any strategic training. They're having a complete week off, shut down, unplug, I'm off, no more. Some people like the mental fix. Some people do not like the 100% shutdown method. And what they will do is what's called a deload week. What they will do here, they will drop their training frequency by 50% or their training intensity by 50% or both, and they will have a half training week or half intensity, half frequency, or they may go and do some cross training for a week where they don't do anything to do with their given sport. They might just do yoga for a week or swimming, or they're going to do something that's not linked to their specific sport, but they're going to do something that will complement their recovery. So there is my 3 different types of rest periods. So it's intra-workout rest periods. So when we exercise for a bit, rest, exercise for a bit, rest, and we do that within 1 session. Rest periods are governed by your goal. Power, strength, hypertrophy or endurance. And then we've got your weekly days off, your recovery days out of your week of training. And that might be anywhere between 2, 3 and 4 days off per week. And then we've got the end of block or end of periodization recovery, where every 8, 12, 16 weeks, you're going to have 1 complete week off or you're going to have 1 deload week. That is the secret in exercise, training, activity, progression and goal acquisition that people often talk about and do not understand. Right then, hope you've loved all this free content. If you have, and you know somebody that really needs this, because if you don't get rest and recovery correct, you are going to get injured, you're going to fatigue, you're going to burn out. More importantly, you are not getting to your goals when you want to get them. Think about it like your mobile phone. It will only do so much, and then you've got to plug it in for recharge where it doesn't do anything. You are the same as a phone. You've got to work some, recharge, work some, recharge, work some, recharge. If you've liked this free content, you know somebody who needs it, press the like button. That's the first thing to do. Press the share, tag somebody in, send it on. It's free content. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to get the people in the Tamworth area as fit, healthy and well as Tamworth can possibly be. If you'd like to know any more about my services, my famous warrior boot camps, my personal training, my nutrition, my life coaching, go to my website, www.personaltrainertamworth.com, or just look through my Facebook stuff, look on my feed. Look, you're going to find a load of free content. You're going to inbox me, reach out to me, ask me questions. I love you all loads, and I'll speak to you soon.